I'm not your boss. I'm just a guy that wants a sandwich. So if you could do me the favor and stop talking and take my order, I can get out of here. Thank you very much. Well, hello there, old man Kelley. How you doing? I hope you're doing good. I'm doing okay. The other day I stopped for lunch at Jimmy John's and something really, pissed me off. Let me backtrack a little. At work, I usually bring my lunch and I go out to a forest preserve to eat my lunch in peace and quiet. This day, for whatever reason, I think it was because we were out of lunch meat around the house, I brought my usual drink and an apple, but I stopped at Jimmy John's for a sandwich. I always order the number 7, just how it is, nothing special. And I don't think I was in a particularly bad day when I walked in. But the clerk behind the counter, a young kid with a few tattoos and a baseball cap, I believe. He looks like he might have been some white suburban kid who takes himself seriously as a wannabe rapper or something like that. I don't know. He just had that look, that kid who's trying to impress you that he's all cool or whatnot. I don't know. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. I walked in and he goes, how you doing today, boss? And boss? I'm not your boss. Maybe in some weird sense that you're serving me at a fast food sub shop that maybe for a moment I'm your boss because you're going to give me the sandwich I asked for. But it just irritated me to no end when he called me boss. And he kept on doing it. Look, I understand this is a first world problem and I don't even know why it bugged me so much. But he goes, how you doing today, boss? I'm doing good. Oh, what can I get you today, boss? Number 7. Just the way it is, or do you want something, boss? And he kept saying that. Oh. And I think it's because I know it's phony. He's not doing it. He's just, maybe his boss was there and he thought if he showed that he's interacting with the customers and treating them with respect, and somehow he thinks respect is calling a customer boss. I just didn't like it. And then of course he started asking me how the weather was outside. Is it still pretty cool out there? That type of thing. If it's one thing I cannot stand and something I've never been good at, it's making idle conversation with strangers. I have problems making conversation with people I know and even relatives. I'm one of those people that unless I have something to talk about, a subject matter I'm familiar with, I just don't like talking. I go out with people from work and there are times where I'm sitting there a good 15-20 minute stretch without saying a word. Why? Because they're talking about something I have no interest in, and I'm not going to talk about something just for the sake of talking. In fact, that's my usual way of thinking. If I have nothing to say, don't talk. So when a guy I don't know starts a conversation with me about the weather, it infuriates me. That's why I hate getting my hair cut, I hate going in and having the person cutting my hair trying to make a conversation with me. And it's worse at a place like where I get my hair cut, because you get the feeling they're only doing it because they're hoping for a good tip. And I do tip well when I get a nice haircut. But to have this young kid, and for lack of a better word, just so you get the impression that I got of him, young punk, to start calling me boss and then asking me about the weather, I'm too polite to say this, but what I would have liked to have said was, just shut up, get me my sandwich. Number 7, get it done. Of course I don't. I'm too polite for that. It's always been a weakness of mine, not having the ability to make idle conversation. I fear getting in those situations. At work, I go get coffee or water or whatever from the cafeteria, and if there's somebody else in there, like we got to wait for the coffee to brew, I hate that situation. I don't know some of these people very well, and we're just standing there, and so, busy day? Yeah, how about you? Busy? Yeah. I was once laughing to myself because I was walking through the the aisleways at work, and I ran into 3 people, and all 3 conversations as we passed were exactly the same. So, how's it going? Pretty good. You? Good. Thanks for asking. Okay. And no one really cares. They don't. I could have walked and said, "How you doing?" "Oh, my dog just died, and I think I have cancer." And they probably would have said, "Oh, okay," and kept on walking. I don't know. It's just, and I get a lot of people think that my whole life I've got this where people think that it's a shyness issue. And it really isn't. It's just that I'm not one who can just talk when there's nothing to say. I've always hated it. I've always hated getting in a situation where I've got to make conversation with people. That's one reason I don't call people on the phone, because I can send a text and what I want to say is said on a text. When I call, suddenly you're in that situation where I'm trying to make conversation, and making conversation is just stupid to me. Real conversation is wonderful when you really have something to talk about. To make conversation sounds like it's an artificial thing. I don't know. I'm just weird that way. Anyway, so back to my story. I'm at Jimmy John's, and this kid keeps calling me boss, and I go to the Forest Preserve to eat my lunch, and I'm actually angry. Where you can't get over it right away. And I'm like, why? This young kid doesn't know what he's doing. He's just trying to, make the customer happy in some weird way. Anyway, this is Old Man Kelley. I think I've rambled on quite enough. Thanks for listening to me. I'll be back someday with more to talk about. Bye.